What is the impact of investment in training in the simulation?
Well, it's very important that I think the people who are marketing are very good at what they do. So we're training the marketing people all the time to be effective in their sales. I was leading the marketing role, so I think they need to have lots of techniques and be trained in how to sell effectively.
And what about other forms of training?
Why other forms of training? Well, I suppose in the production, if we train, then we might have less defects, so the quality will be better, so the training will help reduce the production costs because we have less rework, we have less defects, so that should improve things. And I think, yes, there is, what is it called? There is a theory, I think, where if you involve people in training, it shows that you're interested in them, so that their productivity will hopefully be better because it shows a commitment to the company and it shows a commitment to them. So I think you get not only the tangible benefits of the production costs reducing, the less rework, but you can also get some human benefits with people feeling more involved in the company and feeling that you're taking care of them. So that also will increase the productivity.
Thank you.
Okay, Nick's response to this question is typical of students who work in a specific area in this project. And it's obvious that here Nick has been working in the marketing area, and so his response is something that's familiar with, automatically he talks about the training would be in training marketing personnel or sales personnel to get more sales. And that would be an obvious answer. So it was only after prompting that he thought about other possible benefits of training in other areas, and he mentioned production, talked about defects and improvement of defects. He went on further to talk about productivity improvements, reduction of production costs, involvement, the human factors. Therefore, it relates again more to productivity, and kept repeating in that realm. It's tempting to give a score of 4 here, but if you read the rubric, it says to explain all benefits of training, and just confining yourself to production costs and productivity is insufficient to get a score of 4. Furthermore, the ability to talk about savings level is evidence that this candidate would have exceptional ability, and in this case this was not mentioned. So a score of 3 would be a fair score for this response. Okay, which ratio was the most helpful in your reports, and why?
Well, the accountant person was doing that most of the time. I think it was the profitability ratio. That's what we used, profitability ratio.
Could you please explain your answer in more detail?
Well, we kept calculating the profitability ratio at each period, and we could see how it was going up and down. So we used that to see whether we're making a lot of profit or not. And sometimes we weren't. Sometimes we weren't. So we had to examine that and think about what we should do.
And why was this ratio most helpful in your reports?
Well, as I said, it showed us when we were making a profit. So, and when we weren't making a profit, we had to think about things we needed to do to get back into profit. So we might have to. Obviously, if sales weren't going well, if we were losing out to competition, then that would help us know that.
Thank you. The response to this question initially was rather shallow, and that was the reason why there was one prompt And the prompt, if you read the rubric, is please explain your answer in more detail. And that would be the appropriate way to prompt in this case. Nick had given a bit more elaboration about the ratio, which was the productivity, the profitability ratio, and that was a satisfactory answer. Unfortunately, he did not give a reason, and that was why there was a second prompt as to why the ratio was most helpful, and that's part of the question. So again, giving the benefit of the doubt, he may have forgotten about it because this is a nervous situation for him. There was very little reason given, despite the prompt. It wasn't a satisfactory reason. So from that point of view, you could score this as a 2. Now, it is also possible that you could score this as a 1 if you're looking from the point of view of underpinning in answering this question, and of course there was none. And you could argue that this would qualify as a 1 because there was no explanation, linkage to the theory, and a formula was not given, and that would satisfy the rubric basic answer with little reasoning.